A press conference, by definition, is an event where someone invites the media to a specific place to hear and answer their questions. Every day, thousands of them are held in various locations around the world, following a standard procedure. Austrian authors Leo Ochsenbauer and Klaus Schremser, however, wanted to throw a little water on the idea of a news conference. So when promoting their new book about diving, they decided to hold the conference under the surface of Lake Traun in Austria. The event was held last weekend, and it had quite a turnout. It even set a Guinness record for largest underwater press conference. We reached Leo Ochsenbauer in Vienna.
Mr. Ochsenbauer, welcome to the program.
Hello, Christopher. Nice to hear you.
I have to tell you, I have done a little bit of diving, and I've been to many press conferences, but I've never mixed the two. How does this actually work?
Well, it was just a funny idea. We were reading in Guinness Book of Records about the underwater press conference, the largest one they had, and we were all divers, and we were just thinking about presenting our new book, Underwater, and doing a press conference.
And what was the previous record?
The previous record in the Guinness Book of Records was 12 journalists in Spain in 1997 at the Canarian Islands. And there was also another record last year in October at the DEMA in Las Vegas. There were 15 journalists, but this record is not in the Guinness Book of Records.
So this is now becoming a big trend.
It seems so, yeah.
What,
like all of the divers, if they just want to have fun, they're looking out for something new, and that's something new.
It sure is. What were the conditions like underwater? How did it actually work?
Well, in the Lake Traun Sea, where it all happened, it was quite cold. We had about 12 degrees Celsius, and the visibility was about 3 to 4 meters, so it was not the best visibility, but it was very fun.
Now, if they couldn't see very well, how did you actually get the questions? How did they ask the questions? How did you communicate?
Well, we had a platform underwater in 5-meter steps, and you must imagine the platform was like a box ring. So we, Klaus and me, my co-author, we were sitting in the box ring or on the platform, and all the journalists, so we were 21, were around us.
How did they ask the questions?
Before they get into the water, they got an underwater information table, a plastified one, and on the back side of the table there was a pen, and they could write their questions down there, and we had also tables underwater where we answered the questions.
So this was like waterproof paper, waterproof pens, and flip charts kind of thing?
Yeah, correct.
And were you able to really communicate that well? Could you read the questions, and then how did you answer them?
We could read the questions. There weren't very much questions. There were about 4 or 5 questions, because about half of the journalists were underwater photographers or videographers. So therefore, about 4 or 5 journalists really asked questions. And it was okay.
So you had a record for journalists, but not necessarily a record for the number of questions.
Yeah, correct.
What kinds of things did they ask you?
Well, there were things like we had the idea for the world record. They were also asking about the book Klaus and me wrote, and especially about the name of the book, because the name in German is very funny, and it's a game of words, and they were talking about this name.
What is the name?
In German, the book is called Nullzeit, und Tiefenrausch, which means, in English, if I translated word by word, it would mean no time, sex, and a deep rush or a big hangover. But in diver's language, so if you're a diver, as you told me, Christopher, in diver's language it would mean no daytime time, sex, and nitrogen narcosis. But in German, the words are the similar ones like the other one.
With a title like that, you didn't have to do an underwater press conference. You would have had enough attention anyway.
Actually, we have enough attention. The book is now since 3 weeks on the market, and it's a really good seller.
What's it actually about? What does it cover?
The book, the subtitle of the book is 333 answers to diving questions, and we are answering these questions in a humorous, funny way, but also in a serious way. So it's a mixture of serious and humorous answers.
Now, were these journalists actually divers, or did you have to train them first?
Most of the journalists were divers, as they were diving journalists, but we also had two journalists who never ever made a dive. And it was actually the first dive in this cold and lake with the bad visibility.
How did they make out? How did they like it?
We had diving instructors with us because we were expecting some journalists without diving experience, and they made very well, really. And they really enjoyed it. When they came out of the water, they were grinning from all over the face, and they really had fun.
Yeah, I can remember the first time too, and it's just an overwhelming experience. How long did they all stay down there? How long were you in the water?
The last came out of the water after 25 minutes.
25 minutes, that's pretty good.
Yeah, because we also had an underwater PC, so a personal computer underwater in a waterproof housing. We specially built it for this, and the journalists could make a game there, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, a game like this, but with the questions of our book. And the journalists really enjoyed doing this, and so the first journalist came out of the water, I think, after 16 minutes, and the last one after 25 minutes because we were playing the game.
That's amazing. So were you asking them questions too?
Yeah, of course, because we wanted to show that the answers in the book and also the questions in the book are to smile about, but also the answers are not that easy. So even if you think you know the answer, we are sure that the answer in our book, which is the correct one, is a different one.
Listen, good to talk to you, and thanks very much. Take care.
Thank you, Christopher.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Leo Ochsenbauer